This is Michael Eisen. He's a guest speaker, world-renowned. People are dying to get this guy in their school. But we have a young lady here, Mrs. Moffat, I believe. Mrs. Moffat pulled some strings because she's got a little New York blood in her, and she knows how to make things happen. And she got Mr. Eisen here. He comes all the way from Toronto, Canada. You know where Toronto, Canada is from? Okay, they get 1 week of summer all year. All right. And he's in charge of a group called the Youth Wellness Network. And he's going to help you imagine, empower, and he's going to get you to live better lives. You understand? Better lives. All right? Coach D didn't come from a good situation. I told you, I grew up in an orphanage. I had a real bad time growing up. And I know some of you kids are going through some of the crappiest times of your life. But let me tell you, when we say crap, did he say crap? Is that the worst word you've ever heard today? Because it ain't going to be, believe me. And that's what this gentleman's going to teach you. He's going to teach you. You're about to go places where you're going to see things that are going to blow your mind. And you've got to be able to stand up, and you've got to be able to say, no, I don't want to be like that. And there are going to be people laughing at you. But you've got to be able to have what's inside you. He's going to teach you about that you can say, I don't want to be like that. I'm going to forge ahead. He's going to show you how to be a better person. So we would like you all to please remember to sit on your bottoms so the people behind you can see. And I now like to introduce you to Mr. Michael Eisen, ladies and gentlemen.
How we doing? Good. I like that. Good is good, right? Cool. I'm here, I'm going to tell you, firstly, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to tell you about my own story, some of the challenges that I went through when I was your age, younger than your age, older than your age. I had 19 years of challenges. I'm going to tell you what it felt like to go through what I went through, and then I'm going to give you some really awesome strategies, techniques that you can actually start to apply to your lives today when you walk out of this room. And that's going to allow you to become a happier person. What I'm going to teach you how to do today is how to become your own best friend. I know, it's a little bit of a wacky idea, okay? But if you stay with me and you follow me throughout this presentation, by the time you walk out of this room, you're going to understand not only how to become your own best friend, but you're going to start feeling better about yourself as well. Now, a little bit about my story. I grew up in a small little town, and actually the joke in my family was that the first 2 years of my life was like quiet before the storm. And then when I turned 2, it was like all hell broke loose. I was that quote-unquote trouble child, or they politely called me the spirited child. What that meant was that I didn't listen to anybody or anything. I lived life my own way, beating my own drum. And the challenge with that was that I felt different. Because I was different. I was different from my friends, I was different from my siblings. My parents made me feel different. Teachers made me feel different. Everybody wanted me to be normal. Everybody wanted me to fit into a box. But I wasn't in a box. I was different. I was going to do it my own way. So what happens is when we feel different, oftentimes we're treated differently. So the majority of my first 5 years of grade school, I was bullied. I was picked on verbally. I was picked on physically. Now I was super sensitive. So I felt everything 10 times more than the regular person. And as I was feeling all this, I started to feel extremely isolated, misunderstood, sad, and angry. How many of us in this room have felt one of those before? Angry, sad, misunderstood, isolated? Yeah. Good. It's not fun, is it? I spent a lot of years doing that. And then finally, actually, when I got into grade 6, something amazing happened. I started to make friends. I realized I was good at sports, so I started to fit in with the athletes. And I realized that I was pretty good at school, so I started to fit in with the smart kids. And I made the cool crowd. First time in my life, I started feeling like I belonged somewhere. The challenge is that I started treating other people the same way that they were treating me earlier on. I went from being bullied to becoming the bully. I became the bully because I just wanted to fit in. I was tired of being isolated and misunderstood. I was tired of being sad and angry. So I just treated everybody else the way that they were treating me. I started verbally abusing people. I started physically abusing people. Just because I wanted to fit in. What happened was when I got into grade 8, not only every single one of my friends, but every single one of my classmates completely abandoned me. I thought I was alone and isolated before. Now this is truly alone and isolated. I used to get my mom to drive me to school right at the bell because I didn't want to be alone on the playground. I used to go and hide in the bathroom on recess and cry to myself. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. Nobody gets me. I was alone and I felt ashamed, completely ashamed. Got into high school, those challenges kept going. I became extremely depressed because I just couldn't fit in anywhere I went. Finally, when I got into university, in my second year of university, after 19 years of all these challenges I had right now, couldn't take it anymore. Didn't know where to turn. Luckily, there was that voice inside of me that said, this can't be it, there's got to be another way. And I started to learn some of these really cool strategies that I'm going to share with you. Now, I learned it at the age of 19, and I'm 26 right now. I've spent 7 years putting this stuff to practice, and I can tell you right now that I've never been happier in my life before. Every day I wake up, I feel inspired. I feel excited. I didn't feel that way early on. What I'm here to do today is share with you some of the stuff that I live by so you can start living this way at a younger age. So you don't have to go through what I went through. What I'm going to tell you today is how to become your own best friend. What I mean by that is, how many of us in this room have a best friend? Awesome. Okay. Now, how do we treat our best friend? Kind, friendly, greatly, trust them, the way that you want to be treated, you respect them. Say it one more time. You're going to say that. You respect them. One more.
Like a normal living being.
You treat them like another living being. Now, here's a cool concept, okay? Follow me. What if we started treating ourselves the way that we treat our best friends, or the way that our best friends treat us? All of that love and that support and that encouragement and that respect and that kindness, we start giving to ourselves. One of the things that I realized when I was 19 was that I was looking for that respect and that kindness. I was looking and looking and looking, and I never found it. You want to know why? Because I was looking to get it from somebody else. I needed somebody else to tell me I was important in order for me to feel important. I needed somebody else to tell me that they loved me in order for me to feel loved. And no matter how many people even told me that, it was never enough. So what I learned was how to give it to myself. Now here's the cool thing. When you love yourself, when you respect yourself, when you encourage yourself, when you treat yourself kindly, guess what happens? You start treating others the same way. When you love yourself, you love everybody. Because when you're full of love, you got nothing but love to give. But when you're full of negativity, and you're full of fear, and you're full of harm, harmful actions and unkind behavior, then what are we going to give to other people? We're going to give what we're full of. Right? Does that make sense? Now here's the cool part. The third step of becoming your own best friend. As you love and respect yourself, you love and respect everybody, and everybody loves you back. You don't like the way you're being treated by other people? Start with yourself. Now here's how. How do I start loving myself? Well, the first thing that I learned was how to practice positive affirmation. Anybody know what a positive affirmation is? Yeah? Yeah? No? You don't?
No.
Okay, cool. Anybody know what a positive affirmation is? Yeah. Okay. When you love yourself. Well, here's the cool thing about an affirmation. It's very similar to that. What it is when you think and you speak to yourself in a positive way. Because every thought that you're thinking in your head, every single one of them, every word that comes out of your mouth is creating your experiences. If you are experiencing something that you don't like, I promise you that a good portion of that is coming from within here, coming out of here. So, if we're thinking and speaking in a negative, unkind way, we're going to get negative and unkind experiences. So what do? We flip it around. Because if we love ourselves, we got to think in a loving way. If we respect ourselves, we've got to speak in a respectful way towards ourselves. Positive affirmations are like putting on your armor. It's your protection. It's your shield. It protects you from all the unkind actions that you receive from anybody else. If you don't like the way you're being treated, practice these positive affirmations every single morning. Because the better that you feel about yourself, the less that anything that anybody says about you will affect you. Now I need a volunteer. Amazing. Come on up. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Josh. Cool. So, Josh is going to walk you through how we practice our positive affirmations. Okay? Now, here's what I do every morning. I wake up, I walk myself over to the mirror, I look at my fine self, I give myself a nice big smile, and the first thing I say is, I love you, Michael. You? Why is that you? But you see, this is interesting, right? Because we're not used to loving ourselves. So yes, you're right. It does feel very awkward at first. I've created some affirmations here for you that we can practice every single morning. And it's like putting on our shield. It's like putting on our armor every day we go to school. And Josh, what we're going to do is I'm going to say it out loud, and I want you to repeat it after me. Okay? I want you to repeat it like you mean. Okay? Cool. I'm beautiful on the inside. I'm comfortable and happy around everyone. Okay. People love me and I love me. Good. Everywhere I go, I am safe. Good, you got it. One last one. You ready? Life loves me. And I am protected. Good. All right, Josh, how you feeling? Feel good? Okay. Let me give Josh a big round of applause. Did that feel a little awkward? A little awkward, right? A little uncomfortable? Okay. Here's why he felt awkward and uncomfortable. If we're not used to giving ourselves love and respect, then it feels really uncomfortable the first time that we try and do it to ourselves. Okay? But here's the amazing thing that happens. Repetition allows you to believe it more. And when you believe it more, when you believe in something, that something becomes true. that becomes your reality. The stronger you believe it, the more likely it is to come true. So, I was practicing affirmations first off, and it was so awkward and uncomfortable. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I didn't feel anything that I was saying. But the more that I practiced, and the more that I said them out loud to myself, the more that I felt them, the more that I believed them, and the more that I actually started to feel that love. The more that I actually started to feel that respect. Josh, I bet you, if you said those 10 times out loud to yourself, by the 9th and the 10th time, you feel significantly less awkward, and you probably kind of enjoy it. Would you agree? Yeah. Repetition. Next is we want to unleash our inner power. What I mean by that is that every single one of you in this room has a superhero inside you. Yeah. A superhero. Right inside you. You want to know how to get there? You want to know how to let that out? We got to trust our heart. We got to follow our heart. We got to listen to our heart. Right here unlocks that inner power. That inner knowing that says anything is possible. That says, I really am amazing. That says, I really do love myself. People really do love me. When we unleash that inner power, that inner superhero, we start to really feel that love and respect. And not only that, we start to feel safe and protected. We know that everything we need is right here. And then the next step in loving yourself is starting to trust yourself. Would you say that we trust our best friends? Yeah, somebody said we treat our friends, we trust them, right? They trust us? Well, here's an amazing idea. What if we trusted ourselves? Instead of relying on our friends to have our backs, what if we relied on ourselves to have our own back? Trust in yourself. Trust in the decisions that you make. Trust that you are amazing. Finally, the last step is become your own best cheerleader. And for the guys out there, become your own best superfan. And what I mean by that is cheer for yourself. Encourage yourself. Anytime you do something, instead of beating yourself down, let's say you don't do as well on the test as you were hoping for. Your first reaction is, oh, I should have done better. What if you said, oh yeah, I did the best I could? What if you cheered yourself on? I learned that at a young age that I was beating myself down. I was making myself feel tiny. And as a result, everybody treated me the same way. And as I learned to become my own best cheerleader and superfan, and build myself up, not only did I feel better about myself, but everybody started treating me better too. Now here is an amazing example of a little girl being extremely positive and loving towards herself, practicing positive affirmations, and showing how you can be your own best friend. Why not? Why not? What's the biggest thing that holds us back from becoming our own best friend? Ourselves. Just by saying why not, just by saying no. We're talking to ourselves in a negative way. If we start to turn that around, any no becomes a yes. I can't do it becomes I can do it. I'm not smart becomes I am amazing. Talk to yourself in a positive, supportive way. Think in a positive, supportive way. And you will feel the way that she does. And the more that you practice this and look at yourself in the mirror when you do it, the less awkward it will become, and the better you will feel. And here's the best part. If you love yourself, you naturally love everyone. So what are some ways that we can start treating each other more in a kind way? What are some ways or actions that we can take on a daily basis? Yeah. Say again. Don't argue with each other. How else can we treat each other more kindly? Say it one more time. Pay attention to each other. She said don't ignore each other. I said pay attention to each other. Treat each other with kindness, so don't bully each other, so respect each other. Be yourself. Love that. How else? Be respectful to others. Here's a simple thing that we can do. Open the door for each other. Wow. Simple, right? But it makes it. Smile at each other. What else? You got something? Say it out loud. Forgot? Cool. Let me know if it comes back. What else can we do that's kind? Be trustworthy. How about random acts of kindness? Do you know what that is? Give somebody a gift. You can wave to somebody. It's amazing how much just a smile or a wave can lift somebody's spirits and make them feel better. Pick them up when they fall down. I like that. See, the more that we love and respect ourselves, the more naturally all of these things come out. It doesn't even become an effort. It just naturally happens. When we're full of love, we give more love. We give what we're full of. So if we're full of fear, we're full of kindness, we're going to give more of that. If we're full of love, and we're full of respect, we're going to give more of that. So the more that you practice loving yourself first, respecting yourself first, encouraging yourself first, the more easy it's going to be to treat others that way. Does that make sense? The more you give to yourself, the more you're able to give to others. And then, the best part happens. Everybody loves you back. Everybody treats you kindly back. Everybody supports you back. When you feel that love within yourself, when you feel that kindness and that respect, and you give it to everybody else, they're going to treat you back the same way. Why do we say treat others the way that we want to be treated? Because ultimately, we want them to treat us that way. And if we don't treat them that way first, they probably won't treat us that way back. But the first step is treat yourself that way. Because when you treat yourself that way, you've got a lot more to give. What you give comes back times 10. The more you give, the more you get back. Now, I ultimately believe that this is how we get rid of bullying. Because, let's look at this for a second. If I'm a bully, and I know from experiences I've been a bully, why do I bully? I bully because I don't feel good about myself. I bully because I don't respect myself. I bully because I don't love myself. I bully because I don't encourage myself. I beat myself down, and then as a result, I beat others down. I try to make myself feel better by beating other people down. Now, let's flip the switch. Let's say I practice the affirmations. I practice unleashing my inner power, my inner superhero. I become my own best cheerleader, my own best superfan. I trust in myself. I truly love myself and become my own best friend. How am I going to treat others? How? Better. How else? Probably with more kindness, right? With more love and more respect and more support. If I love myself, I'm not going to treat others in an unkind way. I'm going to treat them in a loving way. Now here's the other thing. If I'm being bullied, and I feel really good about myself, and I respect myself, and I'm kind to myself, then when they come up and try and treat me in an unkind way, it's not going to bother me anymore. I'm not going to be affected by it anymore. Because I've got my armor on. I've got my protection on. I feel so good about myself that they can do whatever they want and it's not going to bother me. Does that make sense? So I really do believe that as we become our own best friend, we will completely get rid of bullying. What do we think about that? Is that what we think? What else do we think about it? We think it's good? We think it's good? Come on. Outstanding? Good. Let's give a little round of applause. Are you excited? Okay, now I'm going to play a song for you. Anybody know who Michael Jackson is? Very cool. All right. Now, listen up. The reason why I'm about to play this song. The reason why I'm about to play this song is because this song is incredibly important. The words in this song talk about if we want to make changes in this world, we have to start with ourselves. He talks about looking at yourself in the mirror and changing the way that you're treating yourself, and changing the way that you're treating others, and then we will ultimately change this world. It all starts within each and every one of you in this room. The song is called Man in the Mirror. You know this song? Sing it. Come on, we can do it, right? Let's sing it in the group. The words are on the screen. Yeah, put your hands up in the air and sway back and forth. You know the words? There's a lot of love in this room right now. Okay. I need 1 minute, right? Everybody, close your eyes. Amazing. Now I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to put your hand on your heart. I want you to visualize what life would be like if you loved yourself, if you truly loved yourself, if you truly respected yourself. I want you to visualize what your life would be like if others loved you, and others respected you, and others treated you with kindness. All the love that's in this room, what if that was everywhere? Everywhere you look, there was more love. I want you to really take that in. I want you to repeat after me. I love myself. I am kind to myself. I respect myself. I treat others kindly. I respect everyone. Here's the best part. You ready for it? I love everyone. Everyone loves me. I want you to breathe that in. Nose closed. Nose closed. Big breath in. Let out a big sigh. Big breath in. Okay. All I want you to do is stand. I want you to face your neighbor. I want you to look them in the eyes. And I want you to say, I respect you. One more big hug and we're done. There we go. Please go with me everywhere you go. Thank you very much.
Young man, just hold the line. Ladies and gentlemen, on your way out today, you will be receiving a special gift. We're not going to bum rush those nice people over there, but listen, inside those bags is a special invitation for your parents to view Mr. Eisen tomorrow night at Matanzas School. Raise your hand, repeat after me. I. State your name.
State your name.
Promise. Tonight. When I go home. Open up that bag. Reach inside. And take out that special card about Mr. Eisen appearing in Matanzas tomorrow night.